good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sports Talk with Kamau Felix on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday, April 29th, 2023. 2023. 2023, that's funny. Woo, these years are moving fast when you start getting a lot younger like I am. And we will be joined by Felix very momentarily. He is with us today, so don't you dare worry. He will be, his beautiful shining face will be here very, very shortly. And we just want to thank you and welcome you to our show. Don't forget to click like, click share, and get out there and get on the phone, get on, text somebody, inbox somebody, and whether it be Instagram or Facebook or any of those platforms that you use to say, hey, come on, Felix on the internet again. And they talking that crazy sports stuff, and they are getting ready for a great show. Over the next hour, we will be with you to talk all things sports. We got a lot of things going on in the world today. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, man. Kept saying
how you doing?
Connect.
Well, it's all right. It's all right. Those internet trolls. Sometimes that's I always say when they know we got something good going on, they try and hold us back. And so, but we here. Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Good morning.
And tell me again, what happened to us today?
What do you mean? What happened to us today?
Same thing you say every week.
Ah, man, we blessed, man.
We on the wake up list.
We're on the wake up list.
We're
Blessed.
on the wake up list. I look forward to hearing
the last Saturday of the month.
That's right. Before we have to start paying those bills and they come at you fast. For the first of the month.
Ah, here you go. Starting early.
That's right. All right, we're gonna start off with our topic of the week as selected by you. We had a lot of people voting this last poll, and we are going with the NFL draft, and it was not without a lot of drama. I actually sat and watched the entire first round, and it was a lot of fun because, I normally don't watch the whole first round. I normally just trying to see what the Lions do, or I'll just keep up with it, as you get my alerts. But I said I want to see this year. I want to see it because in the past I miss all the good suits, I miss all the good craziness, and except for when they did it in the bubble. That's probably my favorite draft of all time. When everybody's at their house and the one little girl wouldn't stop hugging the girl, and the mama had to snatch her up off of her. That was the best. That's probably the best draft moment of all time.
Right.
She wouldn't let that boy go. But we got some. Biggest thing is in all sports, seem like nowadays, second generation players, and we got Joey Porter Jr. actually returning to the Steelers where his father played. Paris Johnson Jr. going back to the Cardinals where his father played, and we've had that a lot over the years in football, basketball, baseball. These second generation players showing up and showing out from the things that they've learned from their parents. So it's a proud thing to see. You see it in the NBA all the time. Last night, Lofton Jr. He closed out the game for Memphis. His father was an NFL player, and I got to see. I watched that pretty much all second half of the Lakers game. But we'll get to that. The draft was great because the Lions, in particular, have made some
dumb moves.
I don't know if they're done yet. In my mind, I'm questioning. Like, what were you thinking? We that's exactly what I'm saying to myself. What were you thinking? We drafted the running back. Why? I don't know. We drafted.
You know what? I'm thinking maybe they're gonna release Swift, and then. But okay. Since you touched on it,
okay.
If you're gonna you drafted a running back, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What was the point of signing Ty Montgomery then?
Well, in today's league, you have three running backs, good running backs. Most teams have three good running backs.
Okay, so why did you let Jamal walk out the door then?
No, Jamal let himself walk out the door.
It was the contract was insulting. It wasn't.
To him it was insulting.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If you was gonna go, you went and got a running back from your rival that you got to see 2 times a year, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
If you do cut Swift and you draft a rookie, that's only 2 running backs, right? So you going with I guess you can call Montgomery a veteran and a rookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did that work out with Javlet Best?
We gonna see, said the blind man.
That's why I'm like, man, dog, the whole thing is shambles. First of all, you should have got rid of Dan Campbell. If you know Dan Campbell's not, because I'm saying, if you know this guy is not the future, why hold on to him? It's like a no more. Why are you holding on to it?
All right. Good morning, Mr. Robert Brown Jr. He says they need a running back that can line up in the slot due to Jameson getting suspended. I understand that you want to be even with Jameson not getting suspended. I can see that because you can speed kills. If you got a running back that you can keep that you can slot out and run routes with, that can even with Jameson in there. That's you got a speed guy down the field. You open up areas behind and be front of and then behind the linebacker for tight ends and running backs to run into. So I can see that. John Best had concussion issues in college. Should never have drafted him. That's just, what was the name of the guy that they drafted out of California all those years ago? They had all those. Was that his name?
Johnny Best.
Johnny Best. They had those. I was so mad when they drafted him. I said he won't even be there 2 years. He wasn't even there a year and a half, and he was
you
gone.
Know what? I mean, he had flashes, right? And then you got to figure that same year he came out. Who did they beat that year? Yeah, I tell you, they beat Michigan State at Cal that year. That was his highlight game. Yep. So that's why I could see why they took a chance on him. Because he did. He showed up and he showed out against Michigan State. Michigan State wasn't sorry then. They were, on that stage. That was one of D'Antonio's best teams. He showed up and showed out. So what I'm saying is I could see why you took a chance. But the concussion, then even after the concussions, you know what he tried to do after that? He tried to make the Olympic sprint team.
Well, yeah, to me that would make sense because he's not running into anybody. He just running straight.
You see what I'm saying? This is
makes sense to me.
I mean, he was fast though.
He was.
I mean, you just got the bad luck of the draw. Sometimes it happened like that, right?
That's true. That's very true. Very true. All right, let me make sure I get back to my notes. All righty. I thought the draft was great. We had the one kid out of Alabama who had the issues with the car crash and everything like that, and all the emotion that he showed once he got drafted. They have the Lemire when they go and put the hat on, they take the picture, and he just put the hat on and ran about the area so he can go get to see the commissioner, and the commissioner. It's just great to see them guys hug the commissioner like that, and it seemed like they had practice handshakes ahead of time and everything. So I really did enjoy watching the first round of the draft. I think they need to speed it up. I don't think they need 3 hours worth of it. Everybody should have 5 minutes in the first round instead of 6 or 7. Speed it up. There's no need to go that long. I know you want to present your product. You want to get your build up going into the new season, but it don't have to take that long. It don't have to take that long.
Yeah, I bet you. I watch when they come. Watch when they come to Detroit next year. Watch how fast it go. Now look, you opened the door, so I'm gonna walk through. Watch how fast it go in Detroit. Watch. You'll be lucky. You'll be lucky they get 5 minutes. It'd probably be 3.
I'm gonna do my best to be there next year. I'm gonna do put it out there. Because I want to see what they're going to do to transform the area that they've been talking about transforming for the last 3 years.
You talking about campus marshes?
In the whole area, they talking about campus marshes. I'm talking about they talking about doing it in 2 areas. They talking about using the down where the fist is. What's that down with
Joe Louis?
They talking about doing using that area for where for we do the festivals. Right. They talking about using that, and they talking about using campus marshes. I don't know how they're gonna work it together because now you're talking about a mile in between the two, but they're talking about multi-area place to host a draft, and
you know what? That's if the NFL don't pull it back. Because right now we have a dark cloud over this city. So I'm just saying
it can happen
and all that. So you never know. Roger Goodell could be like, you know what?
It's happened before.
Y'all need to take care of some of y'all stuff first before we bring. I hope it don't happen because I think it would be good for the city. But right now, it's a stain on the city right now.
Yeah, that was supposed to be taken care of a long, long time ago. They're supposed to be in the finishing phases and not in the still planning phases of what's going to happen. The other day I saw on TV they had the big wheel set up with the timeline for the draft for this year, for next year in Detroit. So hopefully we can get that together and move it forward. Excuse me, so we can keep our city in a positive, beautiful light, and in light of the fact that we're the prohibitive favorite to win the NFC North this year with the departure of one Mr. Rogers, which we're going to talk back a little bit, and the contracts finally given out, and all the NFL craziness and fun that we're going to get to when we get to the actual NFL segment.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay, we're gonna ask the question. We're gonna table it till we get to the NFL. Go ahead, go.
Okay, so if you don't win the NFC North, is that a failure?
We're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that. The Giannis. We're gonna tie that into Giannis.
That's what I said.
No, I'm gonna answer it. We're just gonna wait till we get to the NFL section.
Yeah.
Wait till we get to the NFL section. All right, we're gonna move forward.
Get them thoughts up in there.
I have an answer, and it's a real answer, and I
hope so.
Yes, I have an answer. All right. Once again, click like, click share. Don't forget to get the book. Great for this journey every day, written by Mr. Mr. Marcus Holmes. It came through pretty well. You can see him. Let's see. Depending on how I hold it in the light, since we have his background, you can see. My big brother watches the show and he says, "Man, that's your crib, man, with the pool and stuff in the back." I said, "Nah, man, that's just a little thing we use to keep the rest of the house covered up. My house isn't bad; it just don't look as good as that. So why not go with that?"
And look, man, we do what we do, man. I like that backdrop, man.
Thank you.
That's just a couple of loop dancers back there. You really be on.
Oh, you trying to get me killed?
Oh no.
Now let's just say I'm dream building for the future to have a house that looks like that with the pool in the background.
You see my backdrop, right? In case I ever want to run for a political office.
So in other words, you want me to be like old boy from the Celtics,
right?
and had to do a live stream with the girls. So we gonna leave that alone. Right. All right.
Vote for Mayor Goldie Brown.
Speaking of NBA, we have some great playoff matchups, some great NBA games. I've been keeping up with NBA. The Heat jumped all over the Bucks with playoff Jimmy that then lost his mind. It's like he's playing for another contract already, and they just paid him a couple years ago. They talk about playoff P. No, playoff Jimmy. Jimmy, he averaged 15, 16 throughout the season. He paces himself. Come to playoffs, give me the rock. It's over. It's over for all of y'all. And he put up almost 60 the other night to close out
55, something like that. Yeah.
To close out the Bucks, and they knocked down the Bucks 4-1. And then we got the question from the reporter. We'll go ahead and we're gonna hold on to that question because we put that in Stupid Sports News, and it hurt me to see the Bucks go down, but I'm not surprised because playoff Jimmy, he shows up. It's a whole nother level. I listened to All the Smoke, not All the Smoke, but I was listening to KD and his boy that he played with for the Celtics. He said that before the series even started, he said, "Hey, it's something about Jimmy come playoff time where he just elevate his game 2-3 steps, and you either get out the way or whatever it is."
Ran over, right? Get ran over.
He gonna put the team on his back. He put the team in the sack of potatoes, throw him on his back, and say, "Y'all coming with me whether you like it or not." Because I think he's still upset about his loss in the bubble, and he wants that championship. So that was I'm rooting for the Heat moving forward. It's hard not to when you got a guy like that go out there every day. It's hard not to cheer for him. Celtics beat the Hawks 4-2. Ice Trey hit the jump shot to take them to Game 6. I thought they would have lost 4-1, but Ice Trey hit the nice 3-quarter, almost on the logo, hit the jump shot, and I can't say quick 3-quarter, but time ticked down. They didn't call a timeout, and he took that game took him to the sixth game where the Celtics basically took care of business. They didn't blow him out or anything like that, but they beat him in the 6th game because Trey needed a little help over. He needed a little help. It's pretty obvious
You know what? I can't really say he need help because, I mean, when's the last time something came good out of Atlanta, basketball-wise? Dominique. I mean, that's what they are. They just a playoff team. You don't really expect much out of them. You happy they make the playoffs and they host a couple of playoffs games, but you don't really have aspirations of, okay, we going to the conference finals. Like the year, what was that, 2 years ago when they upset the Knicks and all that. Me and you both said it. We didn't see that coming. But I mean, you don't. Okay, at the beginning of the season, you're not saying Atlanta's a threat. You're like, okay, you got them at the bottom with the Pistons, and they
I would say quite at the bottom. I would say that they're a team that's solid team. They're consistent, but they're not going to go further than maybe the first or second round.
At the bottom, that's the bottom.
No, there's a difference between the bottom. The bottom is not playing the playoffs at all. They're consistent enough to make the playoffs.
Okay, are they better than Brooklyn?
6-1, half a dozen of another.
Are they better than Cleveland?
Yes, I would say they're better than Brooklyn, but right on par with Cleveland.
They're better than Brooklyn.
Brooklyn got swept.
To the Sixers. Would Atlanta swept the Sixers? I mean, would the Sixers would have swept Atlanta? Yes.
They may have got one game.
Are you serious right now? That's why you laughing, because you don't believe that yourself. Get out of here, man. Right. They would have got swept to the bottom.
But, okay, the Celtics are the number one team. The Sixers are the number two team.
The Sixers are the number one team.
Sixers are the one team. Oh, my bad. Okay. All right. Okay,
no, that's what I'm saying. The bottom.
That makes sense.
Atlanta is the bottom. Detroit, Atlanta, Indiana, the bottom.
Okay. Well, we got the Knickerbockers knocking off the Cavaliers. Speaking of which, I'm gonna say Knickerbockers from now on. Knickerbockers beat Cavaliers.
Knickerbockers.
You gotta love that. A pair of pants. The team named after a pair of pants. They beat Cavaliers 4-1, and number 30. He played well, and then he didn't. And JT Barrett, Julius Randle, right. JT Barrett stepped up a lot. He's starting to show his leadership and his scoring ability in the league. Big as he is, handling the rock like that, he should be scoring. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next round. Going to the West, the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves 4-1, and Joker just put him on his back once again. Joker put him on his back, and they went ahead and took care of business. And last night, I had to watch this game. Grizzlies and the Lakers. Grizzlies done. They went out 4-2. They got beat 125-85. They got beat by 40 last night. When I turned that game down, they were down 16, 17 and a half, 16 or 17, something like that at half. And it seemed like they just started. So the second half started. It was 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3, and Grizzlies couldn't keep up. And honestly, I'm really surprised that the Lakers have won this series. In my mind, anyway, I think that the Grizzlies should have beaten the Lakers. I think had old boy Dylan Brooks had kept his mouth shut and woke LeBron and the rest of the team up, they should have beat them, because the Grizzlies were the 3 seed and the Lakers were the 6.
Grizzlies are the 2 seed.
2 seed, and the Lakers are the 7.
Lakers were
they in my mind anyway, I thought that the Grizzlies should have beaten them, especially after last year taking Golden State as far as they did.
You weren't gonna beat them because you didn't have no answer for AD in the middle. Yeah, Steven Adams would have been there. You got a better shot, but you didn't have no answer for AD in the middle. That's where it went. And then their role players outdid your role players. The dude from Duke, I forget his name. What's his name? The point guard. He didn't do nothing. They didn't count on Reeves to do what he did. Austin Reeves to do what he did. They didn't count on Archie Murray to do what he did. That's how you lost. They role players stepped up. Yep. Nobody thought D'Angelo Russell was gonna play like that. But here's the thing: if I'm LA, you better hope the Warriors win, because you got a better chance of beating the Warriors. You're not beating the Kings. They too fast. Too fast, man. You can't teach speed.
Well, once again, I'm gonna go back to Dylan Brooks. Woke that team up. Dylan Brooks.
Man,
No, I'm serious. Dylan Brooks, when you get on
okay,
TV and do your WWE act with your glasses on and your earring and your outfit, tomorrow LeBron, oh, his teammate specifically, yes, he is, but his teammate specifically said, "You're not gonna do our boy like that," and so that's what happened for all of them to step up to help out for them to win.
No, that ain't had nothing to do with it, man. Look, my man. Okay, if what's his name? You know, I usually know the names. The point guard, John Morant. If John Morant doesn't hurt his hand, they playing Monday night, or they playing Sunday, Game 7. That affected everything. If he don't get hurt, they lose. If they at least go 7. Now I don't know if they lose or not, but they at least go 7. You got a 50% John Morant. That's like a half of Michael or a half of LeBron. No, if he don't get hurt, they playing Game 7 tomorrow, because they would. You got to figure that Game 2 or that Game 3, that swing a different way. The pendulum swings a different way. So but like I said, they didn't have Steven Adams. They would have had Steve. You expected Tillman to check AD, or you expected Jared Jackson, right? That's where the Achilles heel was. But like I said, I hope they get the Warriors, but I don't think the Warriors gonna beat the Kings, because the Kings gonna run them out the gym, man. They too fast.
Yeah, they played really well last night. Yeah, they did.
Too fast.
They did. That team speed was really, really, really big. Really quickly, my point about that game before we move forward to the next matchup was honestly, I'm not trying to be funny. If I'm the Grizzlies, I'm looking at building my team more so around Jackson and Tillman.
Who?
Jackson and Tillman. Jaren Jackson III and Xavier Tillman. Because to me, down the stretch, those were the most solid players that they had who went out and worked the hardest. Seemed like the rest of those guys, I know Ja was hurt, and Dylan Brooks, it seemed like he tucked his tail between his legs after he ran his mouth for whatever reason.
Okay, so you negate Bane didn't show up?
Not as much as I thought. I would have hoped he would have.
Hey man, you know what? Take a commercial break and go jump in that pool. There's something wrong with you, man.
No, in all seriousness, I'm not saying Bane is not a good player. I'm not saying Bane didn't show up, but I'm talking about in terms of, if you're looking long term in terms of building, I think they should be a part of that building process. Where some of those other guys.
So where you gonna get you need a point guard, right? You need a floor general. He's not a floor general.
I agree. Bane is a good floor general, but I don't know about, and I'm gonna be the first to say this. I'm not gonna be the first. I don't know about Ja Morant being in long term, being in the league long term.
Okay, I agree. No, he's not gonna be there long term.
So if you're looking at,
they changed jerseys like we changed gym shoes. No, they're not gonna be there a long time. No, of course.
No, I don't mean that in terms of him saying, okay, I've been in here so many years and now I want to go to a bigger market. I'm talking about him being in the league period, the way he keep fighting little kids and stuff.
Look, eventually we all mature at some point, right?
Yeah.
It just ain't caught him yet. We all mature. Look, the late Dick Gregory said this: if you dumb at 9, you're gonna be dumb at 99, right? And at some point you gonna mature. It's just everything. Okay, think about it. The difference between Ja Morant and Kamau Williams is what? Ja Morant can go and post his bail if he do something stupid. Me and you, we can't do that. See what I'm saying? And then think about it.
Ja Morant time than money.
Think about it. Ja Morant gonna make all the national inquiries, whatever. Me or you, it's just we in the Metro paper. That's the difference. Even there.
We
right, not even
there, on Facebook. Right. Free Felix, free Kamau.
He just hasn't grew up yet. Give him time. He 21? He probably ain't never seen money like this before. You know what I'm saying? Even though he comes from a substantially nice background, both parents in the house. Now, trust me, you know how I feel to get paid on payday. Just like you know how I feel after you didn't pay everything off of payday. He can pay me and your bills and laugh and be like, look what I still got left. Me and you can't do that. So that's what I'm saying. It has to catch him. It'll catch him.
Not yet. We're going to get there.
Not yet. Right. Absolutely. I like how you think. See, now you waking up, man. You must have went and got in that pool or something. Yeah, it's just he just got to wake up, man. What he has to do, he has to learn to cut his losses. Everybody that's with you ain't with you. Some people are with you for the ride. And then once the ride is over, they're over.
Yeah,
So,
very true. All right. All right. Moving forward, we got the Kings and Warriors. They play Game 7 tomorrow. Last night they played. The Kings jumped all over the Warriors, and that was like you said, it was a track meet from beginning to end, getting up and down the court. Them trying to keep up, it's not going to happen. Draymond, their best defender, he was always a step behind, trailing the trail position, with the hand on the back, trying to go over the top to block the shot. It was just everybody, it catches up to everybody. And I don't know if it's over yet, but we're gonna see tomorrow. We're gonna see, and because the game is in Sacramento,
it's over.
Okay, so that's your prediction. All right,
that's what I know. I just got off the phone with him before I did the show. That's why I was late. It's over. Mike Brown told me, man. Mike Brown said, Phil, you ain't got nothing to worry about. It's over. I say it's over. He said it's over. Hey man, go do your show. I said, all right.
all right.
Over.
All right. We're gonna table that. So we're gonna make that prediction. So that's the only game we have to worry about because the Suns beat the Clippers, and everybody's waiting on that the next level to start. Suns beat the 4 games. They start tonight. The
Nuggets and the Nuggets and the Suns. The Suns is at the Nuggets.
Suns at the Nuggets. Okay.
TNT.
Okay. All right. They're talking about speaking of the Clippers. They're talking about getting the guy who came from Toronto and San Antonio. They're looking at him retiring. Some people have been urging him to retire. They said he has a torn meniscus or MCL or something like that.
Oh, you're talking about Kawhi
Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is walking. He said he's walking around like Grandpa Jenkins with his cane. And then,
see, man, there you go, man.
No, seriously, that's the reports that he's seriously out there laboring when he walks. And Stephen A. Smith got into it with J.J. Redick, and the other guy. That's
Mad Dog Russo.
I don't like him, so I don't like to say.
Oh, you don't like him neither? I thought it was just me. Okay.
He seems a little plantationist in his words.
Wait, time out.
He does. He seems a little plantationist.
What do you mean? But can you break that down a little bit?
He reminds me of the old school people who used to cover the Celtics and how they talked about the other teams that played against the Celtics that were less than Lily White.
I like, not to cut you off, but when on Wednesdays, I watch it up until he's like when he kind of like really take over. Then I turn, man. He is horrible, dude. I'm not like that guy.
I understand why they brought him in. I understand why they brought him in. I understand why they brought him in because he represents a certain demographic that they use to try and keep.
They could have brought us in.
Yeah, you're right. And they would get much better ratings.
Right.
We get much better ratings with the three of us.
Horrible, man. Ugh. They ain't trying to be all loud and stuff, man. Like, go sit down, man. Go get you a glass of Ovaltine and sit down somewhere, dog.
Prune juice. That's what you need. You need some prune juice. All right. Once again, don't forget to click like, click share. We want to thank everybody who has joined our family, the Sports Talk with Kamau Felix family. Get the book, Griffin's Journey, every day. There we go. I have to get it in the right angle. And right there, we got Mr. Marcus Holmes. The Wiz that lives in Oz, he's behind the scenes, pushing the show forward, making sure we are staying on track. Get on the phone, inbox somebody, text somebody, let them know that Kamau and Felix are back on the internet. We're about halfway through today's show, and we want to just thank you once again for coming out. And it's a blessing to have you guys here. Anybody that shows up, thank you so much. And we're gonna move forward to baseball. That's why I wore my Detroit Tigers today. Make sure I show this. The Tigers we started the season 4-9, and now we are 9-15 and in third place in the American League Central. And before that we were in the basement.
The basement.
We were in the basement. We were hanging out down in the basement, doing a whole bunch of nothing, and the rest didn't even want to play with us. But now it seemed like right after we did our last show, I did the little mini prayer for them to have some start winning. They they had the home stand and they put some wins together, and they've been playing pretty much 500 balls since there, which keeps them in, like I said, in third place in the American League Central. behind the Twins and the Guardians. And also, big story is that the Rays have kind of cooled off. They're now at 22-5 after starting 13-1, and so that they've cooled off a little bit. They kind of come back towards the pack. They still have the best record. The next best record in the league is looks like the Orioles. Is that right? Let me make sure. No, the Braves. The Braves and the Pirates will have the next best records at 18-8 and 18-9 respectively. With Braves 18-9 and the Pirates at 18-8. And believe it or not, in that the St. Louis Cardinals, one of the best teams in the league, are in last place in the National League Central because of how tough that conference is. They have the Pirates, the Brewers, the Cubs, the Reds, and the Cardinals. And the Cardinals are in last place at 10-16, a better record than our Tigers, but last place in the AL Central. And that's just a testament how tough things are in the AL Central. Normally you'll see the Cardinals and the Cubs. The Reds will be there fighting a little bit,
Right.
and the Brewers will be there a little bit, and the Pirates just said normally be like, is it the All-Star break yet?
Right.
But they're doing well. Normally Pittsburgh is a team that doesn't invest a lot into the paying a lot of people, but they've invested well in their minor league system as of late, and they are doing very, very well. There was one guy, I think, did he go to the Dodgers? That was there. I forget his name last year, and they're still doing well even after he left. Let's see here. The Orioles are doing that. Another team I wanted to highlight was the Orioles. For years, people have been complaining about the Orioles and how they get the money from the profit sharing from the league, and they don't put a good product out there. And they are in second place in the American League East at 17-8, 4 games behind the Rays, and they have one of the top 6 or 7 records in the league right now. So I like to see that. Teams that I'm a big fan of the Orioles over the years when they had Cal Ripken playing every day, no matter what. So, of course, that goes back a little ways with my age. So I like it's just it's good to see that the Pirates and the Orioles, 2 teams that perennially over the years weren't doing very well at all, doing well. And our Tigers are they don't have the greatest record, but they're still in third place in their conference. And let's see here, which makes them about 8th and 9th and 8th and 9th in the league overall.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I thought, sorry.
And so, and close to me, the Rangers and the Astros are together. The Rangers are in the first place in the AL West, followed up by the Astros, 15-11 for the Rangers, 14-12 for the Astros, and the Angels are followed by at 14-13. So hopefully I'll get a chance to see I'm gonna make it my business probably to go see the Rangers and Astros this year here in Texas. Of course, I'm gonna go see the Tigers play. I think they play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this year, and I think that Thursday.
Have you noticed that everywhere that what's his name go, Verlander go, that other Tiger pitcher go?
Scherzer. Yeah, they win.
Scherzer went to the Mets. Verlander go to the Mets.
Oh, they joined each other. That's right. I forgot about that because they were apart for a few years. They're good friends. They really are good friends.
Yeah, you don't see that though. You don't.
Because they were with Detroit and then they split apart. Scherzer went to Washington and Verlander went to Houston.
Correct.
And now they're back together. So I like that because they are good friends. They are good friends. So
you don't see the conspiracy with that.
Well, they were with the Tigers. The Tigers should, if they were smart enough, they could have paid them. And I still get mad thinking about that. All that talent they had, they could have kept together, and we would still be rolling. They just gotta.
And you still would be going to the World Series, and you still wouldn't be winning a World Series.
Well, it's all right. You there though. If you there long enough, a blind rat will find the good cheese as opposed to the spoiled cheese eventually.
What?
A blind rat will find the pasteurized cheese as opposed to the spoiled cheese. He'll eat the good American cheese as opposed to the blue cheese eventually.
Stop watching Bugs
Munster.
Bunny and Friends before you come on this show, man.
But the fact that they would be there, they would, it's a good thing. But when the sports teams in Detroit are doing well, everything else seems to do well. And that's not just Detroit. That's all over the country. Sports seems to drive things. They make things better. Not only in that, it starts even with your high school. If your high school teams are doing well, sports-wise, the morale in the schools is well. The grades are higher. That's not only high school, college as well. A team that wins the national championship in any sport, they get way more applications at that college for the next couple of school years, just because of that. So
yeah, because when the Wings were winning, the People Mover was running on time.
Because people was parking and taking the People Mover to the stadium. That's right. I can tell you somebody who's never rode that People Mover.
Marcus Holmes.
Me.
You never rode the People Mover?
No, buddy.
Why not?
That thing looked like it's about to just any second now.
But look at it this way: if it does do that, and you survive, you own the city.
I don't think I want to take that chance. I don't know about that one. I'd much rather be the guy saying, "Come here, let's help him get him out of this thing. Let's get him out of there." I saw it fall. I want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy inside going.
I rode it a couple of times. I like how I tell you to stop. Next stop, Kennedy Park, and Grand Circus Park. Yeah. It remind me of that part on More Money. He's like, pay your fare, comb your hair, pay your fare.
Not me.
Man, the next time you come home, we going down there and riding.
No. We're gonna turn on the Transformers and watch the people move on the Transformers.
Nah, man. Look, the best way to conquer your fears is to tackle them head on. I'm gonna be right there with you.
I love you, brother, but we're gonna watch that people move go on by, and we're gonna go to the festival.
Man, we gonna get you on the people. Me, you, Marcus, we can make a whole field day, get some cotton candy and ice cream.
Yeah, you're right. We can go to the baseball game. We're going to park on Woodward and walk up the street.
If we go to the baseball game with you, you got to get on the People Mover. That's fair trade, man. I'm doing what you asking me to do, so you got to do what I ask you to do.
We have to negotiate that. Okay. Hold on. If I get you to a Lions game, I get on the People Mover.
I guess you won't be riding the People Mover then.
See, I got you.
But I have been to a Lions game down there. You haven't. That's what you haven't got on the People Mover. Right.
You're right, but you said you would never go back to
I'm not going back down there.
And I'm not getting on the People Mover, so we even.
Oh man, that's some things ain't meant to happen there. Well,
all right.
I tried, people.
I understand. I understand. All right, let's move forward. And we got the NFL top news, and we already talked about the draft. Top news is in our neck of the woods. We got a famous Jameson and company betting on games in the actual locker room. Upwards of 10 people either suspended or fired from the Lions organization because of this. We've actually the post, I don't know if the post you saw made. This has been a sort of a history of the Lions, and I hate to go back as far as Alex Karras betting on game. Well, they didn't bet on the NFL. They did not bet on the NFL. That's why they're still there. They only got 6 games as opposed to the whole year, like that one guy got. I forgot what team he's on, but he probably never played in the league again. But Jameson and
we're talking about Ridley.
Yeah, the wide receiver. Yeah,
Ridley. That's his name. Yeah, he came out of Alabama.
Yep. Well, there we go. Another Alabama guy.
Man, just Calvin. Was it Calvin Ridley? I think that's his name. Yeah, Calvin Ridley. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, when you said Alex Karras, I'm like, ain't that the guy who played on Webster?
Yep. Yep.
George Papadopoulos?
George
Wow.
Papadopoulos.
Hey, man, you know what? I'm going to stop telling my age on this show. Webster. Emmanuel Lewis? Yeah,
Manuel
man.
Lewis. Yep. Yep. And they actually did an episode where he addressed playing in the NFL and he bet on the games and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they actually addressed that. So that was of course, that was one of my favorite shows, man. It's hard not to like Webster. How can you not like
Are you
that guy?
serious?
I love that show. How can you not like George and Mayhem? It's hard not to like that show. Of course, we showing our age. We showing our age.
You showing your age. I'm not taking no part in that. I didn't like that show. That show was dumb, man.
It was a great show because cute little Webster was on it. That's why I watched it. Cute little Webster.
You know what? I'm like that dog.
Who's probably older?
I'm like that dog just said, right? Get out of here,
man. And Webster was probably older than us, so
yeah, he probably what was he about 40? No, let me stop, man. No, he was when he was doing Webster, yeah, he was about Emmanuel Lewis. I mean, Emmanuel Stewart but look at me, Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Lewis was about 40.
He was a little older, but you know, when you look young like that, they can play those roles. All right, we got Aaron Rodgers finally getting traded to the Jets, and without of course he had to say on the way out the door, and the whole time Green Bay ain't said a word. I'm just so glad to get rid of him.
You know what though? When you sent me the link, I thought about this. He doing the same thing Brett Favre did to them a year back. Because he went to the Jets too. Yep. And it's like, I'm gonna stick it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I have to stand incorrect. I have to stand corrected. You said it. We both was wrong. I thought he wasn't gonna get traded.
I didn't think he was going to work.
He got traded, but I agree with you a whole 100%. I hope the Jets get everything they got coming to them, which means I hope it blow up in their face. Cause all he do is cry, man. That's all he does.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of that coach. I do like Robert Saleh. I like him a lot. He's a Detroit product. He's a decent coach. He's made his way. He's made his bones in the league. And but now he's you got to he's paying the devil right now. He made a deal with the devil. So I hope it worked out for them in the organization that they're gonna sell some seats. That's the first thing you're gonna do.
Yeah, but then you know what? The thing too, to touch on that, these New York fans ain't like Green Bay fans.
Yeah. But you see,
they're gonna be ready to run you out of Dodge, bud.
But they did. Well, we gonna see because they were really gracious to Brett Favre when he got there, even though he was throwing those interceptions.
Yeah, but Brett, look how that first year Brett was there. They went what 13-3, something like that.
They went to the NFC
and they lost to New England, right? Yep. Okay, he's gonna have to do that much and more for them to just say, okay. I don't think he has what he has. I don't think he has it left in it, to be honest with you. I really don't. The AFC is harder than the NFC.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No. You are 100% correct about that. I'm trying to hurry and pull up the NFL. I'm trying to get to that league. So right now in that conference, you got the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets. So the Dolphins, if they do what they're supposed to do, it should be the Bills. In my opinion, it should be Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. That's how I see it shaking out right now. So
you got the Dolphins in front of the Jets?
Yes.
That's with Tua or without Tua?
Both.
Nah, man, you can't say no. How you need both?
Okay. So all right then. So I can concede that Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots. That's the way I see it.
You got the Dolphins in front of the Patriots.
9-8, 8-9, 6-1, half a dozen of another. But I see them both not too far from each other.
So you got it like 1A, 1B with the Jets.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Jets and the Patriots.
Seriously. Yeah, seriously. That's why I see them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I see it. So it's going to be interesting in that league. But then in the rest of that, on the AFC side, You still got Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh,
AC.
four teams in one conference that can easily make the playoffs. And then you got the Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Titans. Out of that group, Jacksonville Jaguars will be greatly improved, and they should make they should make a playoff run. Then you got Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, and of course the Chiefs gonna be there. Chiefs gonna be right there, and if the ball fall right, any of those other three could make a run at it too, and maybe not so much Vegas. It seems like I don't seem like they just can't get their stuff together. They can't get right of the league for some reason.
So you don't think you don't think porn star Jimmy gonna be better than what was the quarterback before that?
It's not the quarterback, it's the coaching. You got an old boy that was with the New England Patriots, and he was in Denver before. Seemed like he can't get out his own way in terms of in his feelings and how he treat people. It seemed like the same thing with the old boy who just went to the Giants. That was with the Lions. Can't get out of his way because he can't get out of his feelings, and in terms of letting people be grown men and let them play. What was the guy name who left? He announced that he got married. He didn't want nobody to know. The coach for the Raiders. He treated him bad. And same thing with the guy who with the Giants now and that ran off our cornerback. Hopefully the Lions are smart enough to go ahead and trade back for him. He already got a contract that we can work with. Give him a and he wants to be here. He loved Detroit. He didn't want to go. He just didn't want to be around
Patricia.
Matt Patricia, Mr. Pistol behind his head. I know I haven't shaved in a couple of days, but he didn't shave for a couple of years. He was just he was a bad representation of big guys all around the world. So, he the big guy that you want to take to the barbershop and hold him down and clean him up and put him in a suit.
That 2 years of Patricia and my man, that was just pathetic. Because you see where they at. They're right back in New England. That was just an experiment. Hey, look, I'm about to coach the Lions. I'm about to be the GM of the Lions. You want a job? Yeah. He goes out and hires his boy. Okay, they both get fired. They right back in New England. Who does that, man? Where can you leave your past employer, go to a new employer, fail, and go right back like nothing ever happened?
Not very often. Not very often at all. All right. Mr. Lamar finally got his contract. He's now technically the highest paid player in the league for the next day or so until Cincinnati give a boy contract. And then he'll be the second highest paid. But he got his money without an agent, with his mother being his agent. He didn't get it, in my opinion, he didn't get a lot of money guaranteed, but he should make a fair amount of that whole contract.
You know what the smart thing is he did, though? He did by not paying an agent the 3%.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He gave his mama the $7.8 million.
Yep.
So now you satisfied her too. So you don't even got to hear from her no more. Mom, you got $7.8 million. You go do what you want to do. You shouldn't have to ask me for nothing. So he kind of killed two birds with one stone.
We love our moms, but our phone's still gonna ring. She's gonna still bother.
Man, you got $7.8 million. What are you call me for? What are you calling me for? To ask the bank if you want to put it in your savings and checking? That's all you should be calling me for. What bank where you get the lowest interest rate? That's all you should be calling me for. You got $7.8 million. What are you calling me for? You want to go to breakfast? Yo, treat.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. All right, you guys. I'm very happy that Lamar finally got his contract, but we got a whole lot of craziness coming now as we take a pause for the cause as we go to Stupid Sports News. All righty. Thank you guys for coming back again. We're coming down the home stretch. We're going to start with Draymond getting kicked out of game 2 with the stomp and the subsequent clap. To me, the issue was nowhere near the stomp. It happens. People step on each other. You play it off like you didn't. You kick them, but you didn't kick them. And both guys got the text, and But the issue was to me was Draymond. Was that once he got to the sideline, he started clapping, looking like the clap was like this.
Right.
So that immediately evoked a negative image for me of that old monkey with the hat and the cymbals, him clapping. Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, will somebody grab him and get him down off that chair and put him in the locker room? We don't need that negative image being put out there from a black man in terms of him clapping, that symbol, that negative symbol of oppression from many years ago. I hope somebody got to him later and said, "Hey, man, this is what you were doing. I know you were trying to hype the crowd up, but this is what it came off as."
Right.
Those unintentional consequences of him trying to rally his team, fire up the fans against the team, and, being the villain. I get that. And he does all that well. That's his job. He gets paid to do that. Every team needs somebody that's going to do the dirty work. I'm 100% for you. But you got to, I don't think he thought about it in the moment, but hopefully somebody at some point said, "Hey, Draymond, do you know what you really did out there?" What are your thoughts, sir?
I mean, that's him being him, right? Like when they interviewed Joe Dumars, Joe Dumars said the reason why the punishment came down the way it did was because this is a repeat offender, right? Mm-hmm. So when you look at Draymond Green and you look at all the past and present players, Draymond Green / who? Rasheed Wallace, right?
Wallace, yep.
/ who else?
The
Bane guy from Memphis, right? / the list goes on and on, right? So will he learn from this? Probably not, because that's the person he is. Me, you, whoever could talk to him. Draymond gonna do what Draymond want to do. But for every action, there's a reaction. You have to pay for that. Like I always say, every day you wake up, you got a chance and a choice. You took a chance, you stepped on Sabonis, you gotta live with that choice.
Yeah, speaking of Sabonis, is that his uncle or is that his father who played?
Arvinas Sabonis was his father.
Father, okay, yeah.
Right.
I remember that name.
Right.
Yeah. His father was a sharpshooter.
Father played for the Portland Trailblazers. I forget, man. I forget.
Yeah, but he was a sharpshooter. Yeah, so he was good. He was
big fella in the middle. Yeah, Shaq.
Big fella.
Yeah, big fella in the middle. Shaq used to destroy.
So I'm thinking the other guy. Sabonis was in the middle. You're right. All right. Moving forward, we got Phil Jackson says, "I don't watch today's NBA," and it goes back to what happened in the bubble and how the NBA took a stance against Black Lives Matter and the uniforms they were wearing, saying stuff like justice and stuff like that. He said him and his grandkids got a kick out of watching it and how stupid he was and how he doesn't watch the NBA. And it immediately made me think about what Scottie Pippen said that everybody dismissed. Scottie Pippen said that Phil Jackson was racist. Was Pippen right?
I can't say if he was racist. Because, usually when you racist, like I said, the last week's show, the week before, what's in you is in you. Mm-hmm. Eventually it's going to come out. I've never seen Phil Jackson be racist. Not from what I see. I've never seen, but I don't know him personally. See, I don't know what happens behind once he lock his door. And, I don't know. But if he was racist, it would have been came out. Like Gruden. Keyshawn Johnson told us way back then.
Many years ago.
John Gruden is racist. John Gruden, it finally came out. Nothing has ever came out with Phil Jackson being racist. Now, I'll tell you somebody who I think probably was racist. Jerry Krause was probably racist. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael, Scotty, the list went on and on with this guy. Phil Jackson, I've never heard nothing with Phil Jackson. So,
do you think that was a racial trope of him saying that he didn't like it because of the fact that the league was using the Black Lives Matter movement in the bubble in a negative light for the league? He said he didn't want it to be. He he said political. He said they were being political about things. Do you think that that was any kind of racial trouble ideology?
Well, you gotta look at it like this. Every okay, national sports is a big platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you're going to use that platform to get out what you're saying, right? Same way women are walking now, they're doing marches about abortion, about the right to have a child in life. We're doing the same thing. It's just we put a color on ours to where theirs is dealing with the choice of having life or giving life or not having the choice to have life. All we're doing is saying we're sick and tired of being mistreated. And we're going to use this platform because everybody watches this platform, right? You don't watch about abortion until when? It hits the news.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, the racism part, look how long the Donald Sterling thing, the Clipper owner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I commend Mr. Silver. He banned him for life. This man can never purchase a team again. He can't do this again. He can't even attend an NBA game.
Yeah.
But at one point in life, you owned the NBA team. So to answer your question, I'm going to say you have to also take into account Phil Jackson is Caucasian. We are African American.
From Montana.
You say who?
From Montana.
Oh, correct. I'm sorry. Yeah, right. Okay. So with that being said, in order for you to understand what we've been through, you have to see where we're going to understand where we're trying to get. Mm-hmm. I try to explain that to people all the time. I have Caucasian friends. They are, well, why is it cool for you to do this, but I can't do that? You're not in that shoe. So for me, I wear 8.5. You wear a 10. It don't fit. You won't understand it because you don't wear 8.5. You see what I'm saying? It's just, yep. I'll be glad when the day is over, or like the great Dr. Martin Luther King said, they judge us by our content, the character of our content, and not the color of our skin. Because all black men are not bad, just like all white men are not bad. All black men don't sell drugs. All white men don't sell drugs. Stop judging us as a color and judge us as an individual, and the world will be better. That's just my take on it.
All right. Well said. This week there's been after the spring game in Colorado, there's been upwards of 29, almost 30 people leaving Colorado. Most of which the words have been they've been told they are no longer welcome at the program. So I don't know. I don't know if it was defections or they were being shown the door. What they're saying is that Deion wants to bring in a certain type of player, his type of players. He did say in the very beginning how he only, that a lot of you guys won't be here anymore. I'm just looking at the timing of it. I thought it would have happened before the spring game. And so there were reports of players saying that, the coach saying, hey, we appreciate it. It's time for you to go. We're going to go in a different direction. And, it's almost like you read it like a protein. You're running things like a protein. I understand that with today's transfer abilities and of the like, and I understand that you can do it that way, but it hurts me to see that. At the end of the day, these are, even though they have their eligible for this NIL money, they can make it. It's almost like it's pros, but they're still kids in a lot of ways. So it hurts me to see that happens. And in a lot of ways, it sets up for teams to really be against him recruiting wise, for them to say, hey, see how he did them guys over there? They're gonna do you the same way. Why don't you come on over here? But of course, he has a plan, and I hope it works out well for him. But to me, it's a serious. To see this is a serious red flag. What are your thoughts?
That would be the same thing at the University of Michigan, right? When was the last time before Denard Robinson was a black quarterback at the head black quarterback at the University of Michigan? Want me to tell you, Lloyd Taylor. That was the last time they had a black head quarterback. Look at the scrutiny.
Steve Fisher, in the early 80s.
That was early. That was 1989. Lloyd Taylor was the quarterback for the University of Michigan. They came in ranked #1. They was projected to win the national championship. The first opening
I
game
don't
that they
remember him
made,
playing.
Lloyd Taylor, #9. Google it. He was a starting quarterback for the University of Michigan. They came in ranked #1 that year. Notre Dame came into Ann Arbor. Bo Schembechler, God rest his soul. I'm not afraid to kick the ball. I'm not afraid to kick the ball away to the Rocket Ishmael. He ran it back 2 times in the rain. That was the last time it was a black quarterback before Denard Robinson. So look at this.
I don't even remember him.
You don't even remember Lloyd Taylor?
Mm-mm.
Wow, boy,
Yep.
you gotta learn how to. You gotta get it
Yep.
up, man.
No, and that's when I was still a big Michigan fan, quite honestly.
Lloyd Taylor, that was his name, Lloyd, because the starting quarterback before he was Demetrius Brown, but Demetrius Brown didn't come back.
I remember him. Yeah, I remember him.
He came right after Demetrius. The projected starting quarterback was supposed to be Demetrius Brown, but Demetrius Brown didn't come back. So that's how Lloyd Taylor became the quarterback. But my point is, look at the scrutiny Steve Fisher got for recruiting the Fab Five.
Yeah.
So what's the difference with Deion being at Colorado? It's no difference. Look, at the end of the day, we bring a certain swag to stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we are. Deion he out. That's one of the best to ever do it. Like he told Tony Romo, man, you can't buy these jackets, man. You can't. That's why Tony Romo don't like it. Because when you think of the Dallas Cowboys, you don't think of Tony Romo. Tony Romo didn't win nothing. Deion won championships. Michael Irvin won championships. I'm not even gonna mention that other guy, Troy Aikman, won championship. There it is.
Yeah. Well, in the interest of time, we're gonna kind of go over this really quickly. Gian, as we talk about season being a failure, where he talked to that referee. The referee asked the question with season failure, and you asked me what did I thought. Now give me that question really quickly again. We said we was gonna table it. You remember?
I don't even remember.
Well, we're gonna table that, but we will talk about Udoka signing as the head coach of the Houston Rockets. I am still mad about that. We had an opportunity to get a top quality coach.
Mad about that, man?
We had an opportunity. We had a chance.
No, we didn't, because it had to obviously Mr. Williams, Mr. Kamau with. Obviously, he didn't want to come here, and he wasn't on their list, right? Because eventually, think about it. Okay, remember how I said Quinn Snyder, and you was like, yeah, that would be a good coach. Quinn Snyder obviously wasn't on their list. This is what they do. The Lions.
Maybe he was on the list, but the other team made a better offer.
If he was on the list, he would have. If he was on the list, he would have at least took the interview. You're gonna at least want to hear what they got to say. He didn't even take the interview.
Have they interviewed anybody? They still don't even have a head coach.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, so my point is, if he was on their list or he wanted to take the Houston and Detroit, the only difference is it's 2 different teams. They both in the cellar, or like you say, the basement. Correct? Yeah. Correct. So they both would have been a challenge, right? You got Jalen Green, we got Jay Ivey. We got Cade Cunningham, you got the other key, I forget his name. So they're both in the basement, projected to try to get who? The dude, the number 1 dude. Right. Okay. So what I'm saying is, obviously, Detroit wasn't one of his stomping grounds because you would at least took the interview.
Yeah, well,
that's what they do, man. They do they know we wanted the dude that signed with Houston. They not gonna interview him. Same thing with the Lions. Same thing with the Pistons. Same thing with the Red Wings. They do the opposite of what they know the fans want, because that's gonna keep you intrigued. We all wanted Jaden Carter. What did they do? They went and got a running back. Jaden Carter was available. Right. They do what they do. They do the opposite just to keep you pissed, because they know you're going to still come down there every Sunday. I would do the same thing. If I knew you was going, I'm gonna keep standing you up. Hey, come on. I'm gonna pick you up from the airport for real this time. For real. Every time you keep calling me, eventually you're gonna be like, man, I ain't calling you, man. Exactly.
All right. We're gonna let Miss Felix have the last word before we go to our prediction. Who you got tomorrow? Kings Warriors.
Kings 87-78.
All right, I'm gonna go with Warriors. 85. 85. All right, our next show will be on May 13th. Thank you very much once again for coming out. Don't forget Love and Stuff Tuesday nights, 8:30 Eastern. Love and the Scriptures on Wednesday, 60 p.m. Eastern. A Mama V show Wednesday at 11 a.m. I want to say Central Time of noon. Make sure you check out all the shows in the Love and Stuff diaspora. Thank you once again for coming out, and you everyone. We do really appreciate it, and we will see you in 2 weeks.